Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. My wife has pointed out quite clearly that there are a number of interesting history movies that are coming out in the near future. A number of interesting military history movies that should really excite someone such as myself. Someone who's spent years reading military histories, studying military histories, has way too many military history books, and in fact is looking to lighten his military history load over the next few years. In this view, some of these movies, well, I don't know. I mean, Fury was a good initial example of this thing, and there have been various other movies associated with code breakers and this kind of stuff where the history really hasn't been there, and it's really more about making a Hollywood blockbuster. And when I saw the short Dunkirk, I'm very sensitive associated with Dunkirk. It just strikes me as such a poignant moment in human history, and also the environment in which these soldiers found themselves in, associated with being pushed back to the very edge of Europe, and the kinds of emotions that must have gone through their minds. I mean, particularly because the way these wars were fought were very much associated with poignant ideals. Although these folk were put there through a variety of different means, most of them had a solid belief that they were doing really good work, and to come to the end of this fight, to come to the conclusion of this fight fleeing, and also the kind of ramshackled nature of an army in defeat. So to see in the Dunkirk short the army all neatly in their uniforms, all polished, all helmets, all clean, I thought to myself, no, this isn't the film about Dunkirk. But then, as things tend to happen, my wife pointed out to me that actually it's probably more important that films about Dunkirk are made, because it could have easily been forgotten. And the kind of historical objections that anoraks such as myself make, these kind of things really shouldn't be important. What's more important is that another generation learns about Dunkirk, and maybe hopefully a small percentage of them decides to read independently, decides to find information. And my images of Dunkirk, aside from the history, come through I would like to think that there were about 60 photos, but there are probably only about 30 photos that characterize Dunkirk really viscerally for me and give me a clear sense that this is a beaten set of forces on a beachhead, desperately clawing their way to escape to life rather than to prison camps, forced labor camps, and the kinds of experiences that they would have if they were captured. There are various narratives associated with the Germans treating the Dunkirk evacuation with a certain degree of military respect. I don't know. I think it's a good story. It's an interesting story. It's a story I've certainly read. I don't know how this film's going to convey that. We'll have to wait and see. But as these military histories in film form start to yet again arrive in our cinemas, I've got to say it's better than the superhero movies. I mean, from my perspective at least. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.